So my name is Sarah, and I was in the U.S. Coast Guard for 5 years, and I've been with Community Transit for 2 years now.
My name is Cecil Graham. The branch that I run military is the Navy, and I worked for Community Transit for 8 years.
My name is Christopher St. John. I was in the United States Navy from 1997 to 2007 active duty, and then just recently rejoined January of this year in the active reserves. I've been at CT for 2 years. I say first and foremost, the biggest thing was, of course, attention to detail, which you get a lot from a lot of military members. The other thing was, as far as not only attention to detail, but also showing up on time. Because if you're not on time, as my ASH chief once told me, he said, if you're not early, you're late. So it's sort of embedded with a lot of military members to always, be early. And that definitely helps with our safety, service, and schedule, the service component.
So when I was in the Coast Guard, and whether you're on land or you're on a vessel, you're always doing safety drills. So that got instilled into me at a very young age. So when I came here and the focus was on keeping our passengers safe, it was, for me, a no-brainer. It was just ingrained as part of who I am.
I would have to say attention to detail is number one. They taught me to notice a lot of things and also to be aware of my surroundings, which actually goes hand in hand with defensive driving because you have to be aware of everything that's going around you, right? Also, to be on time. They, for some reason, they made me feel late for everything. So right now I feel like I'm always on time. The thing I like best about my job is honestly driving. I'm very passionate about driving, but also to have a compassion for my customers and people that I'm carrying aboard, the coaches, and also people around me. So driving is number one.
The driving part, personally, is a lot of fun. Especially with certain routes, like the 271 going eastbound. I always make the joke, at least in my head, especially on a weekend, if I have a 271 or a 280, I feel I'm going on a joyride and I'm inviting people to come with me. And so by virtue of that, I don't feel like I'm working. And a lot of people I've asked, they felt the same way with certain routes.
I think what I like the best is the people that need our services. There's people who can't drive for a variety of reasons. Maybe they have different abilities, or maybe they have a developmental disability, or low vision or blindness, and they're the ones that really need a good, safe bus driver. And it always makes me happy when they get on the bus because I'm really serving someone who needs it.
Another thing I think is wonderful about being a coach operator was the fact that they have so much trust in you. Like when you clock in, there's a trust factor that you don't see anywhere else. I believe the coaches a lot of them we drive for upwards of almost $1 million. I mean, it always felt great that they gave you the opportunity to drive something. They trust you, and you're essentially your own boss, and you're also the captain of your own ship. So if you're a person that likes the responsibility, this is the job for you. I think a lot of guys, and I think that's why a lot of military members that are here like it, because the responsibility part, having the trust factor, which I think is really, you don't see that in most jobs.
In San Francisco, I first drove for Yellow Cab, and that's how I knew I'd like to drive. I really felt comfortable with it, didn't feel pressured when I was riding in traffic. And as I came up to Washington, it was the position was offered to me, and I was a little skeptical, but I went for it, and I really appreciated the training here. Training took me through a lot, very detailed. And as I got to understand the control of the coach and what they actually wanted me to do as far as defensive driving, it became a lot easier and it became natural.
You go through the 9-week class, 9.5 weeks, which is a great class. Once you get through that, they give you a little bit more of your personality, give you more liberty. And then you go to in-service training for 2 weeks, and then you do your 6 months of probation. And once you get through that, at least what I felt, and a lot of other people do as well, is they feel like you've earned it. And I think it's a meritocracy, which I like. It's all about merit. As opposed to just giving you the keys, you actually earned the spot, and I think a lot of military members like that.